Fighting for truth, justice, strippers, and whiskey. Did I mention strippers?
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, right there.
I'm leaving right after this drink. Rock and roll whiskey and other stories with Bryan Shaw.
Cheers. And welcome to episode 41 of I'm Leaving Right After This Drink, Rock and Roll, Whiskey, and Other Stories. As always, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and supporting the podcast in any way that you do. I greatly appreciate that, including those of you who have been so cool and scanned that QR code and bought myself or my awesome friend Tits McGee with the nice rack. That's why we call her Tits McGee. A shot of whiskey, man. It is so awesome. It is so greatly appreciated. And I'd also like to thank those incredible friends who showed up, who texted me, messaged me, did all these cool things for my birthday, man. It was awesome. Another year in the books. And it was kind of funny. My friend Nick actually asked me the question, what is the best memory over the last year? And I was like, wow, man, what a fucking great question. And I can honestly tell you what I told him was the fact that I think that I can walk is probably the best memory. Of course, if you guys don't know about some of the back problems that I had just from earlier this year, you of course you can go and check some of those episodes out. And of course, the other great thing was my brother had had a successful surgery and got through a brain tumor that he had, and luckily it was not cancerous or anything. So a meningioma, I think is what he had, and so everything was cool. So those are probably the two best memories over the last year out of all the other cool things that have happened in my life over that time frame. And so yeah, man. So everybody who came out to celebrate my birthday just about a week or so ago, thank you so much, man. I certainly appreciate that. I always enjoy going out and having some refreshing beverages with my friends. Of course, my birthday happens right before the 4th of July, so it's always kind of a pain in the ass to kind of get everybody together because some people are traveling, some people don't want to go out because of the holiday weekend. All totally understandable, but about 7 or 8 of us got together, and it was awesome. And here's the deal. I have to admit, I only yacked one time, really late at night. And so, and I really have no idea why. I mean, it wouldn't have anything to do with all the alcohol that was drank, but it's certainly possible. But either way, I will call the birthday a success. So cheers once again, my friends. Thank you for helping me celebrate and however that was. Now, of course, you had the 4th of July in there. You had, of course, celebrating America's 250th birthday. So that's pretty fucking cool. I got my Abraham Lincoln shirt on with him playing a Les Paul. Also to kind of help celebrate America's big 250, I've got the Jack Fire and cranberry drink, a little bit of red action. So things are good, man. Things are doing very well so far in tonight's episode. I'm not quite sure how I was going with that, but hey, whatever. But what is important after all of that, what comes next besides the friendship and the awesomeness of people that I know are my guitars. And can I just tell you how fucking stoked I am to have this guitar in my collection now. And I have to thank Mo at Mo Colors for doing another kick-ass fucking paint job on this guitar. So I'll give you a little history behind this guitar itself. It is a Paul Stanley Iceman. It's one of his signature series. It is a little bit, it's on the lower end, of course. And, but it originally was the sparkly one and stuff. And I was like, oh God, what a fucking hideous guitar. But I wanted this model for some reason to do a flag because I felt like it gave me a lot of space and I had a cool fucking headstock on it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And as it turns out, my connection at Sweetwater hooked me up with a fucking killer deal on a new one. And at the same time, I bought a bunch of parts for another guitar. So that even helped me get a better deal on this guitar. And then when I got it, the funny part about it was when I got it. Now, normally when I get a new guitar, man, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I can't wait. I'm excited. I opened the fucking box. And like this one I got and I went, all right. And I was kind of like, dude, did I just like fuck up and just, like buy a guitar for no reason? And I was kind of like, yeah, I did. But then I was kept thinking to myself, but you know what? When this one gets done, it is going to be a bad motherfucker. And that is exactly what it is. So Mo, a few years ago, painted a General Lee guitar for me, which of course has a torn Confederate flag on it. And I can do a whole episode just on that guitar itself, which I'm sure I will do at some point. And I wanted something, like I said, with the American flag, but I didn't want just a standard, red, white, and blue American flag, whatever guitar or pattern or. And I looked up some guitars, never really saw anything that I really fucking liked. So once again, I got into Photoshop and I started mocking up some guitars, and this is what came up. And I had, I put some tears and things in this one to kind of go along with the General Lee guitar with that Confederate flag on there that's ripped with the 01. So it looks really badass. What I also decided to do was, because I'm like, listen, if I'm gonna, buy a custom Paul Stanley Iceman, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a custom Bryan Shaw Iceman, as you can kind of see there from the truss rod cover, where I had another company actually do my signature on a truss rod cover for this particular guitar. And so, man, this thing has just turned out incredible. I took my design over to Mo, and Mo was like, dude, I can fucking paint that. And he did a phenomenal job. I'll put some other pictures up on the screen so you guys can really see this guitar and how fucking badass this is. And yeah, I love playing it. It's light. It looks fucking cool. And yeah, I can't thank Mo enough. And if you guys ever need any work done on a guitar or something like that, man, Mo is the man when it comes to painting some shit. He's, I've seen him do some pretty cool bike helmets and motorcycle gas tanks. Of course, I think this is like the 5th or 6th guitar that he's done for me, or some friends of mine. And the guy really knows his shit, man. And we are actually going to interview Mo on a future podcast, because it has been brought to my attention that the interview with Jeremy was actually really fucking cool. People dug it. And we're definitely gonna have Jeremy on again, because, dude, Jeremy kicked ass, and he's got some incredible stories as a tour bus driver. And I can't even think of how many more stories that guy has about the different bands that he's driven for and all the things he's seen and experienced in his, I think he said 28 years driving a tour bus. And so it was actually brought to my attention from my friend Tits McGee that I should do them like every 5th episode. I should do an interview. And I'm like, holy shit, do I still know that many people? And so far, I've got a few lined up, which will get us at least into the 50s for episodes, and with some interviews. So that's a fucking really cool thing. And Mo is definitely going to be on there, because Mo has painted guitars for Dean Guitars in the past. He's done a lot of cool shit. So we'll get him on the podcast and pick his brain a little bit as well on a future episode. So where does that lead us to next? Well, let's see. We also saw Gary Hoey down in Fort Myers back in like mid-June. I don't even think I talked about that, because on the last episode we were talking about, we were talking to Jeremy, and Gary, man, puts on another great show. His kid Ian is so damn good. I cannot even tell you guys how awesome this kid is. And his kid this time around actually sang and played guitar on Stevie Ray Vaughan's Life Without You. And holy shit, my friends, unbelievable this kid is. And I can remember seeing him just, 6 months ago at Christmas time. And I was like super impressed. He has gotten so much better in those 6 months. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, man, this kid is going to be somebody to look out for down the road. I think even Gary has mentioned that him and Ian are actually going to do a record together. So that's going to be fucking awesome. And, hopefully we'll be talking to Gary here down the road here on the podcast as well. So much to talk about with him. And especially now that he's been playing with his kid and stuff, like, dude, it's just fucking so much going on in that guy's world. And it's really cool to kind of see everything that's going on between him and his son and his band and the success that they are having. And let's see what else we got. This is more of kind of like an update show, if you will, because Like, listen, this one probably won't even run close to 20 minutes, but maybe it will because, I can talk sometimes. But what else do we got? Let's see. Oh, you may have heard, yes, the rumors are true that I am writing a book. I say the rumors are true to make it sound like bigger than what it really is. But some of you may or may not know this, but I started writing a book back in like 2017, 18, somewhere in there. And I had actually written about 200 pages to this book. And it was just, kind of what I'm doing here on the podcast, just kind of telling stories and talking about my life and things like that. And then life just happens and I stopped. And it literally has been just sitting on my computer like, Bryan, finish. And well, I never did. And then recently, over the last few months, another friend of mine was telling me about he's writing his book, and it really inspired me to get back to mine. And I've been working incredibly hard over the last few weeks putting this thing together. Now, it's nowhere near done, but I'm kind of doing something a little bit different with this and kind of breaking it up into some stories and things like that. But I'm happy to share with you guys that I am 13 chapters in, and that first little section is done. Well, I shouldn't say it's done. It has been sent to my editor, which sounds really fancy, but she's going to take a look at it, put another set of eyes on it, make sure it looks good. I've sent it to a few friends to see what they think, get their thoughts, and see what they think of the book. Like, maybe it's not even worth fucking pushing out. Who knows? I think it is. I think it's pretty damn funny. There will be an audiobook associated with it, so it actually sounds like, I'm really telling you the stories as opposed to you reading it. So I'm super excited about that. It's also going to be titled, I'm Leaving Right After This Drink. It's going to have some different subtitles and different things like that as I put this together. But it's all going to go hand in hand here with the podcast. Some of those stories have been told on this podcast. Some have not. Some will go into greater detail in the book. Some will go into greater detail in the podcast. It's going to kind of all tie in and work together. And I'm just super excited about it. And I cannot wait to get at least that first part out to everyone, as I am now working on the second part of my book. And so I'm just incredibly stoked, and I can't wait. And let's see, what else we got going on? Well, let's see. We got Chicago and Styx coming up next week. Leonard Skinner and Loverboy coming up next week. And in the middle of that, Warrant and Firehouse. And I'm just not sure, once again, how I feel about going to see Warrant and Firehouse. I don't know who's original in either one of these bands. Not the singer of either one of these bands. That much I do know. I'm not sure how many people are still original in Warrant. I'm not sure how many people are original in Firehouse. And it really, at the end of the day, is it really about that? I think it's just about the nostalgia of those two bands and the fucking great songs that both of those bands had. But who knows? That will be definitely a game time decision on whether I actually, make it down to St. Pete to see either one of those bands. But we will see. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing my friend Randy. He's going to be back in town with Chicago and Styx. That's always a good time. We always manage to throw back a few bourbons and talk some shit and tell some great stories. And Tits McGee is going to be joining us on that too, so that's going to be fun. And yeah, man. And then, of course, Skinner, it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I haven't seen Skinner in a long time. And, Damon Johnson, I love Damon Johnson from Brother Kane. He's still playing in Skinner. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go check it out. Well, it just happened that Live Nation was kind of running, one of those deals where it's like, oh, $30 lawn seats or whatever. And so I looked up tickets and I went, for another $20, I can actually sit in some seats. And based on my previous episode where I talked about the amphitheater not having a fucking cover on it anymore, fuck you sitting out on the lawn. Okay? I'll sit in my seats and enjoy the show. You know what I'm saying? Because seriously, amphitheater, get it together. Get the goddamn roof off. Or get it put on. Sorry. It is off. Get it back on so there's some fucking shade, because it's hot in the middle of the damn summer. You know what I'm saying? And oh, by the way, sorry, Ed, I was trying not to cuss through this episode, but that clearly didn't work. I try, man. I try. I don't think I cussed in the episode with Jeremy, so you know, I made some progress, and then this episode I just shot that all right to hell. So anyhow, man, that is kind of where we're at, and it's hard to imagine we're already in the month of July. We're almost mid-July, which is absolutely insane, man. Time is flying by. Still some more shows to see, as I've mentioned. I think even later in August, Blackstone Cherry, Buck Cherry, Tyler Bryant. Of course, there'll be another TSO show this year for me, I'm sure. So, man, just so much shit happening. Of course, we're going to Houston to see Zach Wilde and going to check out another one of his shows again. And, dude, it's just so much stuff going on, and it's just been, crazy the last few weeks. And even myself, I had to kind of take a little break and take an extra week here before I decided to do another podcast. But here we are, and now we're wrapping things up. So once again, thank you guys for your support. It is greatly appreciated. Please, if you so desire, you are welcome to scan that QR code, as always, by myself or my incredible friend Tits McGee, a shot of whiskey, and we will happily do those shots of whiskey thinking about you guys for donating that money to us. Cheers, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. You dig?
God bless the internet.